1God192 here. I hope I am live. Just let me know in the chat if you can hear and see me. Make sure everything's okay. Just the usual stack. Just make sure everything's okay, that you can hear and see me, and that I am live, so that I don't have to fuck up again. Um, so let me know if you can hear me and see me, and then we'll get started with the topic. Never make sure to just let me know in the chat if you can hear and see me. Make sure, down. Please tell me this is working. Ah, there we are. Okay, I do apologise for that. Well, everything seems to be going okay so far. I do apologise, there's not much else I can do from my end. I'm using the best I can do at the moment. Well, as long as you can hear me and at least hear me, that should be alright. But let's dive right into this topic. So welcome everyone to the Warriors Alive for the 23rd of the 11th, 2012. And in today's edition of the Warriors Alive, we are going to be discussing publishers. This was a topic suggested by Charles 6835. Always get the number wrong. But he suggested that I actually talked about EA, and I thought instead of just talking about EA, because I bitched and moaned about EA for high heavens, I thought, why not talk about publishers in general? And not all of them. Not all of them are bad. But some of them just don't get it, is what I'm saying. And, of course, I'm primarily going to be fixing on publishers like EA and one or two others, because those are the primarily ones that just don't get the gaming community, just with the amount of bullshit that they have pulled over the years that has just been outright not only disrespectful to the gaming community, but downright insulting to the people that pay their wages, us, the consumers. So I'm going to talk about that. Activision, we'll talk about them as well, but I don't want to really single out any individual publisher except for the ones that I am bitterly hateful of, like EA, as I do know that Activision, Capcom, and several others have had issues in the past. But here's the thing. Here's my main problem for publishers. But before I start getting into the topic, I do want to give a little heads up and a little bit in advance. I've ordered, my dinner has been ordered. I'm ordering takeout because I'm too lazy to cook, and I haven't had anything to eat all day. So at some point during the stream, I'm going to have to put a wee intermission on, put some musical fees to listen to, so I can go and get my dinner. I'm just going to go and put it out, and I'm going to bring it up, and unfortunately, you're going to have to see me eat. I do apologise for that, but in fact, that might be it right now. It was damn quick. So you might just actually get a brief intermission momentarily because I might need to go and grab my dinner. So just give me a minute. Just give me one moment. I'll get some music set up for you. I do apologise for this. I didn't expect it to be here as fast. So if you'll give me a moment, I'll get some intermission music set up for you. I think he's deserve a wee bit of metal effect. So if you'll give me a moment, I will just get the music set up for you. And I'm just going to go and put my dinner. I will see you back here momentarily. I do apologise for that. So see you soon. And I'm back. I do apologise for that, but yeah. Me doing a game. So, I haven't had any TL days, so I do apologise. I'm going to eat this while doing the stream, but I'll try and avoid mess. So, where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about publishers. Yeah, good eggs. Sorry, I'm bloody starving. But as it is, I'm completely lost. I do apologize. I've lost my track. I'm just completely distracted by my food. What? Keys. But yeah, let's talk about this. But yeah, what my main problem with publishers is the fact that a lot of them kind of don't get the gaming industry. Right, there are some, like Bethesda and one or two others, none really popped in my head besides Bethesda, are the only ones that really kind of get the gaming community. The rest of them only see the marketing side of the gaming community, which is not the part that they should be paying attention to. But the part they should be paying attention to is the feedback. Oh yeah, what they should be paying attention to is the gamers, the people that are playing the games. They shouldn't be paying attention to the marketing. Now, fair enough, as a business, they need to run a business, which unfortunately is the sad fact that they have to go. That a lot of publishers only see the money. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. They don't care about us, about the gamers. And this, unfortunately, falls onto the developers because, let's face it, publishers are a necessity. Unfortunately, publishers are a necessity to get some books published, to get games published, to get movies published in some instances. Now, there is self-publishing and all that, but that costs a lot of money, and not a lot of developers, especially up-and-coming developers, can afford that. That's where publishers come in mind. And I will say that some publishers are necessary to an extent, but what I really have a problem with is publishers buying gaming development companies and then knowing nothing to do with them. Yeah, of course we'll get to the DLC controversy with Bethesda. Even Bethesda, the almighty gods of gaming, do stumble. But this is what they do. Best one I can give is EA. Unfortunately, I have not made my opinion about EA quiet. I have given my honest opinion on what I think of EA, how I think of them as a business, and how I think of them as a gaming publisher. I think they are downright the worst gaming publisher out there. There's very few publishers that I hate more than EA. And mine's aren't just like stupid fanboy stuff. I'm not raging at EA because I'm a fanboy. I'm raging at them because it's easy to do so. Because what they do is they rush stuff. They go with stuff they shouldn't be paying attention to. They rush their developers. Because this has came out, by the way, a former BioWare developer has come out and says that EA do rush them. They try and get games out as soon as possible with incomplete games that are not yet finished. And the best example again is Mass Effect 3. And that's what EA do. They rush their games. They rush their developers, and then of course there's the DLC debacle. It's easy to tell that all the DLC that came out for Mass Effect 3 currently, Javik, Leviathan, and a few other, and all these, not so much of the weapon packs, but mostly those two story-based DLCs were meant to be in the original game on release. However, of course, EA probably pressured BioWare into cutting them out of the game and making them DLC. Now, here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it was EA that did it. BioWare could have decided to do it. They could have decided to be money-grubbing whores. If that's it, fuck them. If it was, but my thing is it's EA, because BioWare has always been a gaming developer that has been for the fans, in my opinion. And I do agree with you, Great Tone 5000, BioWare definitely needed another year of development on Mass Effect 3, if not 2. Especially with all the problems. But I think if you're a hardcore BioWare fan, or you're a loyal Mass Effect fan, you've been with the series for years, you can tell that Mass Effect 3 was not finished. You would have to be blind not to see that. And of course, mostly I blame the publisher, but a lot of it I blame the developer as well. But the sad thing is, though, the publisher are the ones that have the last word. They're the ones that decide whether or not the game gets made, and also whether or not the game actually sees the light of day, which is sad, unfortunately. Do not worry. Okay. I am not going into another Mass Effect 3 rant. I'm just using it as an example. I have ranted enough about Mass Effect 3 for many lifetimes. I am merely using that as an example. I'm not ranting about it. That's the best example I can come up with because it's the most recent example I can come up with. There are other ones. I'm just using EA as an example. Do not worry, I'm not going to go into a Mass Effect 3 rant. I am merely stating the obvious. And really, it's just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure a lot of other people can see it as well. As the publishers, like EA, just like EA, buy up gaming development companies when they're popular. Yeah, Dead Space 3 is another example. EA are another good example of this because of one simple thing. EA believe multiplayer is the future of gaming. That's the simple thing. They believe that multiplayer is the future of gaming, and don't get me wrong, multiplayer is a vital part of the gaming community. I'm not a big multiplayer gamer. In fact, I've only recently started playing a lot of multiplayer games. I just recently started playing Awesome Knots, and Awesome Knots is awesome. Yeah, EA Sports Games, best design. But, 2 seconds, I've actually got the games here. Here are the first 2 Dead Space games. I've not played them yet, but I've seen playthroughs. Dead Space 1, no co-op, no multiplayer. Dead Space 2, no co-op, but multiplayer. And these were published by EA. It says it right on it. It says big bold writing, EA. Excuse me. But you can tell from the look of Dead Space 3 that the co-op shouldn't be there. Like, don't get me wrong, co-op games can be fun, and if they want to do a co-op survival horror game, that's fine. But even me watching playthroughs of these 2 games, Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2, and by the way, I do have every intention of playing these games, I'm just waiting until I can get better editing software. You can tell that Dead Space 1 is definitely a lot more scary than Dead Space 2, and Dead Space 2 is more action orientated than horror orientated, and that's what Dead Space 3 looks like to me. Dead Space 3 does look a lot like a certain other franchise, shall I say, and the way that it has been going, and other aspects of its certain development, and how it has drastically changed from what made it popular. If you can't tell, I'm talking about the Resident Evil franchise. So, what is it?
Are you doing a video?
I'm doing a stream. Go away.
Can I hold your charger?
No.
Please?
I'll give you it later.
Huh?
Pull off!
Are you talking?
I do apologise, my little sister's been a pain in the ass. Go away.
Hi, he's annoying.
Go away. I'm busy talking here and eating my dinner.
And I just sit tight to her. Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to my clan, my subscribers.
Why do you always call him glad? It's annoying.
Go away.
I hate this charger.
Go away. Close my door. I do apologise for this.
He's a lion.
That's my little sister. I do apologise for that. But yeah, as I was saying before my little sister decided to pop in and say hello. But yeah, as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the Resident Evil franchise, but in my opinion, Dead Space has kind of turned into Resident Evil. And I blame mostly the publisher, but if it is the developer's choice to do that, I will definitely say that it's just the way it's going. And really, it's just a real shame that a lot of these developers, they can't do what they want to do because the publishers, most of the time, probably are pressuring them into doing stuff that they don't want to do. Like, I'm pretty sure Visceral, is it, who made this? Yeah, Visceral Games. You can tell that Dead Space 1, they want to make a survival horror. Dead Space 2, they still want to make a survival horror. Dead Space 3, it looks like an action game. It looks like your generic co-op action game, which is a shame. Best example there, thank you, Grutin. They milked the series for all it's worth. Call of Duty. That's what EA want to do. EA, like, I know EA don't publish Call of Duty, but Call of Duty, in my opinion, is really something that really disgusts me about the gaming industry nowadays, is games like Call of Duty. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't like Call of Duty. I'll say it right now. I don't like the series. And it's mostly due to the fact that I'm not a big multiplayer gamer, and all Call of Duty is a multiplayer game. Let's fucking face it, don't bloody lie. Yeah, Capcom have done it to every series. Yeah, Capcom milk it until it's bone dry. But as I said, I'm not a big fan of that the Call of Duty series, because I'm not a big multiplayer gamer, and the Call of Duty series just does not appeal to me. But ever since the Call of Duty franchise has started doing the yearly games, which is basically all they're doing is releasing a map pack and an expansion, which I barely call an expansion, by the way, but that's about it. And that's all they do each year. And what did EA and publishers like EA and Capcom do? They see the success of that series and they want to mimic it. I've seen the campaign for Black Ops 2. It's a better campaign, but it's still shit compared to the rest of the great stories out there. It still doesn't interest me. Exactly, it's a decent story from what I've seen. I've watched a full playthrough of the Black Ops campaign. The story is a big improvement on the previous Call of Duty games. However, doesn't say much. Here was the bar for Call of Duty's storyline. Here's what it is now. That's it. And it really frustrates me that I don't hate the Call of Duty franchise. Like, I just hate what it's done to the industry. I hate that developers and publishers, not just the publishers, but developers as well, think that they need to rush games. Excuse me. They need to mimic Call of Duty, and they need to rush the games out. They need to get them every single year. They need to, like, release a new freaking Resident Evil game within 2 years or a year. They need to release a new Splinter Cell game within a year. Finish this. Gears of War is 10 times better than fucking COD. Gears of War, in my opinion... Gears of War. I've only played the third one. The third one is a good story. It's a really good story. It's a decent length campaign as well. This, in my opinion, is how you do a shooter game that's main focus as is the multiplayer. Let's not face it, Gears of War 3's main focus is the multiplayer, but it has a really good campaign and a really interesting and in-depth story. I like that. This is how I like my if I was a big shooter fan, this is how I like them. A good story, a decent story, and only optional multiplayer. But I will admit there are one or too many sequels, but there's only 3. And really, as I was saying, I really hate what Call of Duty has done. I don't hate Call of Duty the game, I hate what it's done. I hate what it's done to make these developers and publishers release these games, rush these games, get them out unfinished, unprepared, and basically shit. And really, it all depends on the genre of game as well. Like, as it is, it all comes down to that. Like, I wouldn't expect a shooter game, your run-of-the-mill standard shooter game, to take more than maybe a year, maybe 2 to develop. If I'm going to be honest, because most of it is just a copy-paste job. Last chicken ball. Sorry. Well, your standard stereotypical shooter. Your Call of Duties, your, how do I say his name, Duke Nukem's, and I can't think of any off the top of my head. I wouldn't really expect them. I'm not getting a Wii U, ever. I'll get to the, well, I don't want to talk about the Wii U, I'll get to that at the end of the stream when you can ask me questions. But, and I'm not talking about the Mass Effect trilogy, I've bitched and moaned about that enough. Here it is, as I was saying, really, standard stereotypical shooters. Look, I want to get back on the topic, I want to get this topic done, okay? So could we not ask any questions about Mass Effect, or, with the Wii U, and if I do go on a Mass Effect 3 tangent, please let me know in the chat and I'll stop. I do apologise for that, sometimes I can't help it. So, just wait until we finish with the topic before you ask me questions about Mass Effect, about Wii U. When we get to the end of the stream, we'll talk about the stuff like all that. You can ask me whatever fucking question you want, but can we try and stay on topic, please? Thank you. So, as it is, like, on average, I would expect a standard stereotypical shooter to take about 2 years max to develop. What do you think in the chat? Do you think roughly how long would it take to develop a standard stereotypical shooter? How long do you think roughly it would take? Fuck. But, right. I say about 2 years, max. So I'm just finishing off these chips. Exactly. Copy paste. That's all Call of Duty is. Sorry, I had to say that. Well, yeah. A stereotypical shooter, I wouldn't expect it to be in the development for maybe more than 2 years, depending on the funding that the developer gets. But when you get to games, I'll grab a couple here just from the top of my head. I'm just grabbing a few here. When it comes to games like Batman Arkham City. This is, in my opinion, the pinnacle of licensed games, but also a fantastic action adventure and slash platformer. This is one of the best games out there. And how long did it take them to make roughly? Can someone Google it? I'm too lazy. I'm trying to think. This came out last year. 2011 it came out. I think it came out in 2011. I do remember that. I think it was last year. 2 years. 2 to 3 years it took them to do this. And one of the best licensed games I ever fucking played. But they took a good amount of inspiration. They started small. They started with Arkham Asylum. This is with the start of it. I consider these two games, as they are individual games in their own, but I consider them really the same thing, the same continuation of a story. So we'll combine the years it took to make that. Roughly, but as I say, it's good, really one of the best licensed games I've ever fucking played. Excuse me. Let's pick another game. Heavy Rain, which I'm playing at the moment, doing my Let's Play of. I hope you're watching it and hope you enjoyed it. By the way, I would highly recommend Arkham City and Asylum. Highly fucking recommend it. But someone tell me, how long did it take them to make Heavy Rain? Which I've only played up to the store, so don't spoil it. I'm kidding, you can spoil it. How long did it take Quantum Dreams to make this game? 5 years. And I'll happily admit, still holds up. It's a really good game so far. Interactive movie, but a really good borderline game. That took 5 years. You can see the effort that went into that. So I see how that would take 5 years. Let's pick another game. Deus Ex Human Revolution, a action-adventure RPG. How long was this in development for? For your standard action-adventure RPG, I expect at least 3 years. At least 3 years for a standard action-adventure RPG game. That's my opinion. If someone says to me an action-adventure RPG and it's been a year in development only, I ain't buying it. Unless it fucking blows the freaking water beneath me. But 3 to 4 years, roughly, for an action-adventure RPG. Now let's get to one other game that a lot of people consider a classic, and is really awesome. Fallout 3. How long? How long did Bethesda work on Fallout 3? 4 years. And Fallout 3 years. Fallout 3 years as in... Yeah. This took about, I'm thinking 3 to 4 years, I'm thinking. I could be wrong. 3 years. And it's one of the... It is a awesome RPG. Awesome. What really good one. I had so much fun playing this. This is a sandbox. This is a really good RPG. 2008. So roughly 2 years. 3 years, we'll see. That's it. For this kind of game, I expect 3 years. So when someone says to me, or a publisher says that a game can be made, any game can be made in a year. Yes, any game can be made in a year. Depending on the genre, is the question, will it be a good game? Sure, a year, 2, to make a decent sure, fair enough. An RPG. There is no way in hell you could make a great or a good RPG in a year. In my opinion. In my opinion. You could not make a great RPG in less than 2 years. BioWare barely did it with Dragon Age 2. And that was a year and a half in development. Dragon Age 2, I'll happily admit, is not as good as Dragon Age Origins. Not by a long fucking shot. But it's still a good game. It's still a decent RPG. That's what BioWare can do in a year and a half. That, in my opinion, is amazing. But still, an RPG, I really do expect at least 3 years. At least 3 years in development, in my opinion. Well, the Final Fantasy franchise you can use as an example. How long was Final Fantasy 7 in? How long was Final Fantasy 7 in development? I'm pretty sure I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan, so let me know how long. How long? I've only just got out of Midgard in this. How long who's the Final Fantasy geek here? Who knows everything about the Final Fantasy franchise? 3 to 4 years for Final Fantasy 7. That's actually what I'd expect from an RPG, and technically this is a JRPG, but let's slide. But yeah, no way in hell can any developer or any publisher say that any game can be made in a year. Any game can be made in a year, but any good or great game takes at least a bit longer than that. Especially for RPGs, which in my opinion, and quite a lot of other people's opinion, are some of the most time-consuming and hardest games to develop. Because of the emphasis on RPG, role-playing game. And this is why I hate about certain publishers and developers. They don't get it. EA is the best example, and also to an extent Capcom, and maybe I think debatable Activision. But yeah, we've got The Witcher as well. We can't forget the Witcher series, which is awesome. But you can't really. This is why I really hate with the publishers, is they don't get it. They think that every developer under them should walk at the same pace. EA is the best example. They think because they can get an EA sports game without in a year, they can get an RPG without in a year with BioWare, which they can. They rush the development of these games because of that fact, because they want to get them out. And fair enough, I see that factor. I see why they do it, because they think the sooner they get it out, the more money they'll make. When in actual fact, they do make a lot of money, but they also lose dozens of fans. Dozens, if not hundreds of thousands of fans. And as is EA, all they care about is money. All they care is about what you do with your wallet. And it really disheartens me to see that developers like BioWare, who put their heart and soul into their creations, whatever that may be, whether it be action-adventure games, whether it be first-person shooter games, or whether it be RPG games, which are my personal favourites, it's really disheartening to see that a publisher who has an iron grip on them and basically has their future in their hands, literally they could just go, you know what, fuck you, see you later, gone. The company's dissolved, absorbed into EA or whatever publisher there is. It really does that. It really does bug the hell out of me and disheartens me to see these people who put a lot of effort into the games, because really you don't get into the game. Like most developers and people who work in the development company of the computer game industry, most of them work their ass off to get into the computer gaming industry, or they stumbled into it. A couple of the writers from BioWare did state that they stumbled into writing for BioWare, and some other developers, some other writers from other video games have stated that they didn't start writing video games, but eventually it was the best medium for them. So a lot of them love their job, love writing the game. Some of them hate it as well, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure every job has their hate in it. But it really, you can tell, like with the BioWare games and the Rocksteady games as well with Batman, that they really cared about the franchise. They really cared about the game that they were making, because they were putting their hearts and souls into it. You can tell that. Especially at Arkham City, in my opinion. You can really tell that the people who were developing this game really knew Batman and knew his character, knew the mythos, and knew everything almost they needed to know to make the perfect Batman game, in my opinion. And I like that. And you can tell that. I really do hate these publishers that really don't get it. That all they care about is the money and the just stupid ass pieces of shit. Yeah, like Kickstarter is another thing I should probably talk about. But yeah, Kickstarter, I'm pretty sure if there was a Kickstarter to get EA to basically, I guarantee if there's a Kickstarter to buy BioWare away from EA, it'd be the fastest fucking growing Kickstarter in history. I guarantee I'd put a couple hundred towards it. Yeah, probably Game of the Year will be all these copy-paste jobs. I guarantee Call of Duty Black Ops is probably going to win Shooter of the Year, which is fine with me. But if it wins fucking Game of the Year, I'm done with fucking all these award shows. But we'll get to that towards the end. But I might as well talk a wee bit about Kickstarter. Kickstarter is a great thing in my opinion. It really shows that some developers can get away from the publisher. It gives developers another option. Crowdfunding, which is a double-edged sword just as much as publishers are. Publishers can sink or make or break a company, but so can Kickstarter. Kickstarter is much more of a bigger risk in my opinion though, because it's basically you're asking people, your average gamer like me, like you who's watching, like all you here who are watching, all the members of the clan, it's people, they're basically saying, look, here's what we've got, here's what we want to make, here's the game, or here's the comic, or here's the book, or here's the TV series, or here's whatever. Let's just go with games though. Here's the game we want to make. Here's what's going to be in it. Here's some concept art. Here's some trailers. Here's some gameplay. Here's the developers, the public. Here's the developers talking to you about it. They tell you as much as they try and sell the product to you. And if you're like, yeah, I would like this game. I would like this. You put some money towards it, as much as you can, of course, or you put a lot towards it. Like, I'll use the game that I was talking about, Star Citizen. Star Citizen looks like a fucking fantastic game. I made a video about it because I was debating whether or not I should Kickstarter. It was going to be my first Kickstarter, but I decided against it mainly for one simple reason, is I don't really have that kind of money to burn out, because I was going to put about I was going to put about $60 down for it. That's the average price for a game. But in the end I decided against it, mainly because it made fucking $6 million. I mean, I would love to have put money down for it, but in the end I just decided I didn't think I could. It really isn't a genre I know well enough to put money down for it. Until I seen what, I might still get Star Citizen when it comes out, but I didn't really think that I knew enough about the genre to possibly put money down for it. But I hope at least some of you checked out and maybe piqued your interest like it did me. Like, when it comes out I'm probably going to get it because it does look fantastic. And it really is a shining example, is that sometimes you just go to the fans and they're the ones that can help out. And it really does warm my heart seeing games like Star Citizen, Project Eternity, and several other games that have been made. FTL, for example, a lot of these games that would probably never see the light of day make it through without a publisher. But yeah, I really like Kickstarter is one thing that I do approve of, and it really gives an opportunity for. What do you want? Fuck off.
Can I win £100?
No, go away.
I'm getting £2.37 off your mum.
Go away. Close my door. Close!
If you change your mind, I'll be downstairs.
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. My sister's a little bit of a pain. But yeah. Do apologise. Hey, it's my little sister, family. But, as I was saying, Kickstarter is a good thing. A lot of games that probably would never see the light of day thanks to Kickstarter. And I really do approve of Kickstarter and its method. But at the same time, I see how bad it can turn out. Like, if the developers of the game, like Star Citizen, if they fuck up, and I do mean they would have to fuck up big time, they're going to have a fucking shitstorm. It's a double-edged sword. Either they're going to make the best space sim ever, or they're going to make a game that isn't worth the money that people put down for, and people are going to demand their money back. Not ask, demand. They will get sued up the ass. And really that's the one problem I see with Kickstarter, is that it can backfire big time. And I do agree with the statement you've said, Errol. Kickstarter equals fan published, which I kind of do agree with, is that it does happen. Yeah, they can screw fans over and screw the developers. And it really, as I said, I see Kickstarter as a positive thing, and hopefully a lot more games do get to see the light of day that normally would. As I say, Project Eternity was one I was also considering Kickstarter, but as I say, it made its money within like 2 days. So I just went, nah, wait and see until I get more of it. There have been plenty of Kickstarters that I have been very interested in, and I do occasionally, if I can, I do tweet about them, I do Facebook about them. But as I say, it comes down like, do I know enough about the genre and the people making it to make me do it? And yeah, it looks like most of the games that are on Kickstarter at the moment are going to be free to play. Most of the online ones anyway. As it says, the single player one like Project Eternity, it does look like that one's going to be a single player. As it says, that is one of the best things about that. I do like Kickstarter for that factor. As it says, there's still a place for publishers. There's still a place for publishers, but I really wish that publishers would just get their heads out of their ass and stop treating every game developer the same. Every game developer is not the same. BioWare is nothing like Treyarch. Square Enix is nothing like Visceral Games. Sorry, I'm really horrible with... I'm really... Oh, free to pay, alright. I'm really bad with publishers. I barely remember half the ones. Rocksteady is nothing like Rockstar. Yeah. Not every... Ubisoft are 50-50. They do good stuff, they do bad stuff. I have no problem with them personally. Ubisoft are 50-50. We'll get to the questions later. There is no Squaresoft. Squaresoft is gone. They are no more. They no longer exist. But yeah, as I say, it's like, I really just want... I'm not saying that publishers should stop thinking about making money. I'm just saying they need to be smart. If they treat their developers right and the developers treat the fans right, they'll guarantee them money. They'll make a fucking fortune. They'll make hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's anything completely racist there. I do apologise if I've offended anyone. And really that's about all I've got to say on this one. That's my message to every publisher out there. Treat your developers the way that you want they want to be treated. Like, if your developer wants to make RPG games, let them pitch the RPG to you, and if it's good enough, which most of the time I'm pretty sure it is, especially if it involves BioWare, then yes, fund it, make it. Treat each developer differently. Don't treat all the developers the same. I really do hate people that say that all developers are the same. They're not all the same. Making an RPG is completely different from making a fucking first-person shooter game. So, any final comments on this topic? I'm going to end it here and I'm going to open up to a Q&A. So, any final comments on the topic, and then we'll open up to a wee Q&A session. Just do a quick reload to 6. Oh, excuse me. Bit bad. Yeah, that's another thing that really pisses me off, and I do intend to do a video on this eventually, and it is quantity over quality. I'm much more of a quality over quantity guy. I prefer quality over quantity. In my opinion, that's just me, because I know, like, a game like Skyrim, I'm going to use that as an example, please don't kill me. Let's face it, Skyrim has a fuck ton of shit to do in it. Skyrim is... I don't even think I completed everything in it, but Skyrim has a fuck ton of shit to do in it. But, in some instances, not all, in some instances the quality of the stuff in the game is very shallow. Not always, just most of it. Some of it is very shallow. The quality is not worth the quantity. However, a game like Batman Arkham City, the quality of that game is phenomenal. You can beat it in a day. You can beat Batman Arkham City if you put the time and effort in it. You can beat it in a day. But that is a day that you will not regret. That is a day you will go, that was fucking awesome. I loved it. I'm going to play it again. That's what I did. I played Batman Arkham City at least 5 times. Because the quality of the game outweighs the quantity. A quality game doesn't need a reason for you to replay it. All it needs is the fact that you go, that was so good, I want to play it again. But at the same time, what about quantity? A game has to have a sufficient amount of stuff in it. Batman Arkham City is again an example. Has a fuck ton of stuff to do in it. It has a lot of stuff to do in it. But of course the quality outweighs the quantity, in my opinion. I'm personally a quality over quantity. You could give me a game that has hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands of hours worth of content, But if that content is not interesting, doesn't boast anything worthwhile, and doesn't keep me riveted to my seat, then I ain't going to play it. Debatable. The Skyrim, as it says, it has most of the stuff in Skyrim is enjoyable enough that it is really good quality, but there are certain instances where the quality is really low, and it's just mostly quantity. And that's just me. I'm personally a quality over quantity guy. As long as something is quality made and quality effort put into it, I don't mind if it's like a 5-hour long game. As long as those 5 hours were great, enjoyable, and fantastic, I'm okay with that. That's just my opinion, but that's me. So that's just me. Like, I'm trying to think of a game I can use as the best example for quality over quantity. God, where is it? I've not got it up here. I can't find it. Sorry. But yeah, that's just me. I prefer quality over quantity. That's just me. So is there anything else, any last few minute things on this topic that you want to talk about, or should I just open up to a Q&A session? So what have we got? Do we just open up to a Q&A? Rockstar and GTA 5. Okay, I've seen the trailers for GTA 5. I will tell you right now, that game looks really good. And what is it? How long's it been in the making for? I think one you said 4 years. It's been 4 years that they've been working on Grand Theft Auto 5. By the way, I'm pretty sure they've only been working on it for a little less than that, but that's beside the point. That game better kick ass. 5 years to work on that game. As it says, you need to take your time with certain games, and definitely GTA after GTA 4, they need to blow that out of the water, because GTA 4 was fantastic. And they really need to go either equal or above the quality of GTA 4. So 5 years, I'll wait. At the moment, I'm a bit iffy on GTA 5. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to get it yet. I need to see more. I need to see more of the game before I will even consider pre-ordering it. I've not even pre-ordered it yet. I'm still debating it. I want to see more of the game before I go, I want it. But I will admit, from what I've seen, it looks really good. It looks like they put a lot of effort into the game. And I will definitely probably keep an eye on it. And if it does, if more stuff comes out about it, more gameplay, more trailers, more information about it beyond what we know already, then yeah, I'm going to pre-order it, I'll play it, and I'll let you know what I think about it. But Rockstar and GTA 5, Rockstar taking their time. If they've been working on it for 5 years, so, and of course you've just stated it there, apparently the map is going to be the size of Red Dead Redemption and GTA 4. That's massive. So 5 years to work on something that big, it better blow it out with the water, because if it doesn't, oh shit, they're going to have a shitstorm, I can guarantee it. I'll save that for when it gets closer to 2013. I want to save like what games I'm looking forward to 2013. Probably around about January I'm going to do that, because I just want to do it when it gets closer to January. Maybe I'll do it just before the end of the year, but I'll let you know, so don't worry about that. So I think that's about it for that topic. So let's open this up. If you have any questions, please fire them away. You can ask me anything your sick minds can come up with, or your heart desires, and well, certain questions I will not answer, but all questions are welcome. Feel free to fire them away. I will answer as many as I possibly can. So yeah, fire away. Wii U, 720 or PS4? Okay, right now the Wii U is no. Mainly because there's no games on the system that I really want to play, except maybe Zombie U, but I have heard that actually doesn't live up to it. Wii U, I'm going to wait and see if there's any better games. If some really good games come out for it, I'll probably eventually get it, but at the very moment there's no new games out. There's no games on the Wii U I want. 720, more than likely I'm going to get it. PS4, if I can, I'm going to get a 720 and a PS4. Because I need to get the next gen systems, unfortunately. Because, let's face it, eventually the PS3 and Xbox 360 are going to be here today. In fact, I think they've been out of date for the past 2 years. But as is, I've not got as is. I haven't seen anything with them. I'll wait and see what the consoles are like before I even jump the bandwagon and say I'm probably going to get both. I've said I might get both, but here's the thing: nothing beats a quality gaming PC. I'll wait and see. I'll wait until I see more for the consoles before I think about buying any of them. But at the moment, I've got a pretty damn decent gaming rig right now, so I'm okay for the next few. I'm okay for a year or two. So yeah, I'm good. Did you buy anything off Amazon? If you're talking about Black Friday or Cyber Monday, we don't get that here. We don't have a Black Friday. We have the January sales, which are 10 times worse. But no, I've not bought anything off Amazon in a while. The last thing I bought off Amazon was my Elgato game capture device. They have online discounts, but they're normally just like random. They don't happen like on a specific day. They happen every now and then. So we do get discounts, but we don't have a Black Friday or a Cyber Monday. I don't think. We may have a Cyber Monday, but we don't have a Black Friday. Over here, the main sale time is around about January. We call it the January sales because basically what happens, everything gets freaking slashed by fuck tons. And literally, it's a race to get to the stores in January to get stuff. Literally, just after Christmas, the January sales start. On the 26th of December, the sales start, and they end in about, I think, the 5th or 6th of January. Trust me, if you ever come to Scotland, here's my tip. Do not come during the January sales. You will not last 5 minutes. I've had training. Trust me. The January sales are hectic as hell. You think Black Friday is bad? Trust me. You haven't seen You haven't seen Scottish people fight over toys and games at knockdown prices. The Claymores and everything come out. There was at least 3 decapitations last year. I'm kidding. Do we have any... Kind of like Jingle All the Way? Yeah. I dress up as Arnold Schwarzenegger. So do we have any more questions out there? So feel free to fire them away, and you can be real on anything. I'm not too fussed. I'll do this until about 10:40, and then I'll have to end it. So, do we have any questions? Fire them away. I'm not too fussed. It can be on anything. I can't wait for this State of Decay. What the hell is... I can't click the link. My internet is slow as hell. I'm barely struggling to do the stream right now. What the hell is State of Decay? Oh, fuck my nose, sorry. I do apologise, my nose is kind of running at the moment. Yeah, my internet speed is only like 8 megabytes per second. Upload speed is 8 megabytes max. A zombie game, I will definitely keep an eye on that. My food was delicious. Chinese gravy sauce, chicken balls, chips and egg fried rice. Lovely. But yeah, zombie game, I'll keep an eye on it. I'll check it out after the stream. I can't do it right now because my internet speed is slow as hell right now. I'm barely able to keep this stream going at the minute, so I don't want to risk clicking on anything. So I do apologise for that. But do we have any more questions? Feel free to fire them away. Just in regards to my game's back. Lucky you. You've got decent internet. I have shit. I would do a speed test, but that'll cut out. I have shit internet. Have you ever broken a controller? Yes, I have broken quite a few controllers in my lifetime, mainly due to rage. I've broken keyboards due to rage. I can't remember when it was, but I actually smashed the keyboard over my head at one point. I literally broke it in half. I was literally so enraged with the game, I smashed it right out of my head and broke it in half. So yeah, I've broken many a controller in my time. No, I've never thrown a controller. I don't throw my controllers. I literally grip them so hard. I snapped the PS3 controller in half at one time. It was a really old one, but I was playing. I can't remember what game it was, but I actually snapped the PS3 controller in half. It was my cousin, so I had to buy him a new one. You put a Sega Saturn in this furnace? Wow. I was going to buy one of them and all. There was one of the retro stores doing the tune actually had a couple of Sega Saturns. I was really tempted to pick it up, but I'm not too sure if it plays Sega Mega Drive games because I've got a Sega Mega Drive thing here. I've got a Sega Mega Drive like thing here. Plays Sega Mega Drive games, and it's really good. But I really want to get hold of a pretty good one. Well, I do apologise, but yeah. So I did want to get a couple older retro consoles. What is the oldest game you've ever played? Oldest game I've ever played? Pac-Man. Pac-Man was one of the first games I ever played. That's my earliest memory. I played a Pac-Man game. Tetris is also another game I played. If you want to know what's the oldest game I own, I can show you. I've got it right in my drawer there. I can show you the oldest game I own. See? Oh shit. Yeah, of course Pong, but depending on the version of Pong, there are many a version of Pong. If you want, I'll show you the oldest game I've got. I'll show you the oldest game I've got. It's just out there in the drawer. Okay, I'll show you the oldest game I've got. Oh fuck. Okay. Here are the oldest games I've got. Mario Entertainment System, one of the oldest games I've got, from 1985. Of course, everyone should have this in their collection. I'm collecting classic games, so I've got that. Another old game. This one came out in 1990. It's not as old as that, but it's Digger T-Rock, and its original box with instruction manual. It's before you ask, NES game. No played any of them yet. I haven't had no Atari 2600 games, unfortunately. But I do. I think this is the oldest game I own. I'm just checking the date when it was released. I think it was 1984. It has the instruction manual and everything. It is Terminator versus RoboCop. This is the oldest game I own. I got it for a $5. Terminator versus RoboCop for the Sega Mega Drive. Sorry, for the Sega Master System, my apologies. This is the oldest game I own. This came out in 84, I believe it says here. Oh no, sorry, my apologies. No, it may have came out later than that, it's hard to tell. No, this came out in 93, my apologies. It says there's different dates on this, it's hard to tell, apologies. Sorry about that. I am going to get a Master System eventually. I want to get a lot of old retro console systems. I really want to play this. I'm not going to lie, I really want to play this. I thought it was a Mega Drive game, but then I opened up and it's a Master System game. Even if it even comes with an instruction manual. So that's kind of awesome. I did intend to try and get a hold of a Master System eventually. It's kind of hard to get a hold of those ones over here, but yeah. But yeah, I did want to get a couple older systems. I did also need to get an NES as well. I did want to get a lot of these older consoles that I never got a chance to play. My first gaming console was the N64. I never had an NES, never had a Super Nintendo. N64, that's what I grew up with. But I really want to play a lot of these old classic games. Like I've never played the original Mario. I've played the remakes, but I've never played the original one. So I really want to play that. Also, I want to play this because it looks awesome. And just that, I just want to play that because who doesn't want to play a game called RoboCop versus fucking Terminator? It's freaking Arnie versus RoboCop. Who doesn't want to play that? Okay. Would you ever consider getting the Mass Effect book? Sorry, bringing Mass Effect. Yeah, I do intend to get the other Mass Effect book. I just haven't had a chance to get it because it's not available. I haven't been able to see it, find it in the tune anywhere. My local comic book shop doesn't have it. I have to order it offline. I just haven't had the chance to get. So one day I will. The Commodore 64, that goes back a while. Never played it. May play it in the future. May play it in the future, but as is, that one's a bit of a hard thing to get a hold of. But I do want to show something else. This is actually a nice thing I've got in my collection, which I think some of you might be jealous of. It's the soundtrack for Final Fantasy VI. I just have to show this off. Because when am I ever going to get a chance to show this off? I've never played Final Fantasy VI, but I have watched a playthrough of it, and the soundtrack was fucking awesome. So awesome enough, I bought the soundtrack. See, it's so I don't know if anyone's ever heard the Final Fantasy VI soundtrack, but it's phenomenal. Really, really, really good. Don't know if anyone else has got the soundtrack, but yeah, it's a soundtrack. Yeah, I've never played FF6, but the soundtrack, I watched the full playthrough, and the soundtrack is really, really good. So much so I bought it. It's doing the tune. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot of like yard sales or car boot sales near me. The nearest one I think is quite a whiles away, and I don't have a license. So unfortunately, I can't get a lot of retro consoles because yeah, I'm not anywhere near a flea market or one of those places that sells like yard sales. Or unfortunately, the closest one is something called the Barras, but I've been down there. They don't sell anything like games or anything. It's mostly just little shops there. It's not really a place where people go there. There is one near me, but it's quite a drive away. I don't have a license, so I can't go and get a lot of these older consoles and systems and all that, just because it's quite a drive away and I don't have a license. So, yeah, unfortunately. I didn't intend to get a hold of a lot of older consoles, but it's going to take a while. And plus, I have no room to set them up at the moment. I'm running out of room already. Okay, I'm going to take about 3 more questions and then I'm going to end the stream. So 3 more questions, fire away. Oh, I do apologize, my nose is running like a... Just give me a minute, I'm just going to stick my collection back. Oh. No. I do have an SNES game as well I've got to show you. Super Mario All-Stars Fiber. Oop. Oh shit. Oop, 2-6. Oop, sorry, I clicked something by mistake. I need to fix it. Oh well. Oh shit. Okay. Have you looked at the Steam sale? Yes, I have. I bought Awesome Knots, which is awesome. Xbox 360 or PS3 controller. I've had the Xbox 360 controller longer, so I kind of prefer the Xbox 360 controller. But the PS3 controller is... I grew up with the PS2 as well, so the PS2 controller and the PS3 controller are near enough identical, so they're really good. Either, I don't have personal preference, they're both really good. Just kind of prefer the Xbox one ever so slightly. Have you ever owned a Dreamcast? No, I don't, but I'm trying to track one down and get a hold of one because I need to go back to my retro drawer. I can't be arsed moving, sorry. In fact, I'll grab it, may as well. Yeah, too much exercise for a stream. I picked up a Dreamcast game for like £2. Yeah, Jet Set Radio. Sealed. Jet Set Radio sealed. Sealed copy of Jet Set Radio. Complete. I'm super tempted to own that. I really am, but I do know these lose their value when they're opened. But it's a sealed copy for a £5. But yeah, I did want to get a Dreamcast to play this. I'll probably not buy another version of it because I don't want to open it. But I did intend to get hold of a Dreamcast because a lot of classic Dreamcast games that I never got a chance to play. A couple have suggested Code Veronica on the Dreamcast, which I've never played Code Veronica, so if I can get a Dreamcast, I'll get that. So we'll just get this back. I may as well show you these as well. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. But yeah. That Code Veronica? No, I've seen Code Veronica on Dreamcast on eBay. So I think that's about it. That's all the questions. So I think I'm going to end the stream now. Just actually move some. Yeah. So I think that's about it for the stream. So I want to thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was entertaining for you enough, and at least I hope you had a bit of fun with a nice wee discussion. Thank you all of you who came. I hope you enjoyed it, and keep spread and a lot of no harm in asking this. It's just a lot of requests. Don't forget to keep sharing. Don't forget to help the clan grow in strength. Help the subscribers and my channel grow. If we can, as it says, I do have a goal for 1,000 subscribers by the 1st of January 2013. If we do achieve that, I will do some special stuff, special videos, that including reviewing the Twilight Saga, which I really don't want to do, but I'm a man of my word. Doing the Ghost Pepper Challenge and maybe 1 or 2 special videos. So hopefully, just want to make a quick request there. Help out, help spread the word of the clan, and keep it growing. And I think that's about it. No I forces there. If you want to help out, just spread the word. And if you happen to share my videos on any forum pages, if you happen to tweet my videos, if you happen to share my videos on the Facebook page or anything, please let me know by tweeting me or Facebooking me the link to it. I will check it out, and you will get a shout out for helping me out and helping spread the word of the clan via tweet, Facebook, or in a video, depending on how you share. So that's something I want to ask for a little help out there. So yeah, I'll be the world leader eventually. So that's all I wanted to make a quick request. If you can help out and spread the word of the clan, and do everything you can to help out, and just let me know if you happen to share my videos on any forum pages, Facebook pages, or even if you tweet my videos to someone, please let me know. If you tweet someone, add ScottishW92 in my Twitter page, and you will get either a retweet, a shout out, or something from me thanking you for that, because I do thank every single one of you who have helped out. So thank you all for helping out, thank you all for spreading the word, and hopefully we can continue and hit 1,000 subscribers shortly. So thank you all. I think I'll end this stream now before I start rambling on. So as always, I'm ScottishBoy92, and thank you for coming and watching, and I'll see you all later. Ciao for now. Mwah.